Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In case you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so now. Thank you. The last update was about Vishu's death, and this update is the continuation of that. So let's continue from there. Revati goes to her room and cries and said that she is a bad woman, and because of her greed, she could not give anything good to her son, and it would have been good if she was dead than Vishu. Vidvan consoles her and says that she has to be alive for the family. Ragini takes food to Anurag. Anurag holds her hand and asks her to have the food with him. She says she fed everyone and she would have her food later. Anurag insists and feeds her. She says that she is going to feed Shriti, and Anurag asks her to come back to him soon, and Ragini leaves the room. Anurag thinks that he has lost Ragini's trust, but he has to try to regain it back. Shriti cries remembering Vishu's love for her, his gift during the recent trip and etc. Ragini walks in and consoles her. She feeds her and makes her sleep, and she also sleeps next to her. Shriti asks Ragini not to stay here with her and she should go to Anurag. Ragini says that Shriti needs her the most, and Shriti says that it is fine, but she should go to Anurag as she has accepted to be alone for the rest of her life. Ragini says that she is her sister, so sister's relationship cannot end and she will be with her always. Shriti insists that Ragini should tell her why she doesn't want to go to Anurag. Ragini started crying, and hugging Shriti tells her the whole story of everything that happened in the trip and how Anurag fell in love with Sangini, and Shriti consoles her and they both sleep. Shriti wakes up in the middle of the night remembering Vishu, and she goes to the terrace. Anurag was playing marbles there and he apologized to her for disturbing her. Shriti asks if the marbles are Vishu's marbles, but Anurag says no, that he had won them from Vishu and he forgot to return it to him, and he regrets not returning them to Vishu before he passed away. Shriti starts talking about relationships and how husband and wife are like marble and bottle, which cannot be separated from each other. Ragini joins them and she also got emotional seeing them. Shriti continues her marble and bottle story and says Vishu always wanted Anurag and Ragini to be together, so Anurag should not let Ragini go easily. Ragini hears their conversation and says that she came here because she did not see Shriti on the bed, and if Shriti was finding it hard to sleep, then she should have woken her up, and both of them as sisters would have discussed their happiness and sorrows together. Anurag thinks that even after 15 days, Ragini has not still forgiven him. Rohini gives leaf food plates to Ragini and says today Brahmins will come for lunch, so she should make the arrangement very well. Ragini turns and drops the plate mistakenly, seeing Anurag. Anurag picks the plate and Ragini takes them from him without speaking to Anurag, and she leaves. Rohini thinks something is wrong between them, and Revati on the other hand falls sick. Dulari asks her to go and rest, and she gets up and she sleeps, and she was about to fall, but Ragini and Anurag hold her. Grandma called Ragini and asked her to serve the Brahmins well. Anurag tries to speak to Ragini, but Ragini says she is doing this for Devaji and that is all, and she leaves. Vikra hears their conversations and he wondered what is going on between Anurag and Ragini. The inspector meets Shriti and shows the psycho killer's photo to her. Shriti identifies him and says that he killed her Vishu. The inspector says that this man is a hired psycho killer and he was sent to harm the family. Purushottam was seen getting the goons punished, and the goon challenged to destroy him. He cries that because of the goon, his damad has died. The inspector says that the killer wanted to kill Shriti, but Vishu came in between. But the killer got punished for his sins because Shriti killed him at last. Vidvan says that he lost his son and is here facing a big loss. Purushottam and Vidvan consoled each other, and Revati says that it is her sin that her son left them all, and she wants them to make arrangements for Vishu's puja now. Shriti prepares food and remembers Vishu liking her food a lot, and she told Dulari that she remembered that Vishu used to like her food so much, and Dulari cries. The puja starts and each of the family members imagines their moment with Vishu when he was alive. Vidvan gives Pedan to Shriti and Shriti goes and keep it on the terrace. Ragini comes there and Shriti says that if Crow eats this food, then the deceased would get rest. Ragini says that it is a belief, and Shriti says that just like people believe and find God in stone. Shriti then suggests to Ragini to forgive Anurag and trust him again. Anurag comes there and pleads with Ragini to give him one more chance to explain, and Ragini tries to leave, but Anurag holds her hand and says that nobody is in his life except Ragini. Anurag continues trying to convince Ragini to forgive him, but Ragini doesn't want to listen and she leaves. Vidwan does charity in Vishu's name and Ragini walks in and asks Vikram to let them go and leave the Singh's house. Vidwan stops her and says that he knows that Ragini always do what she thinks is right, but he wants to know the reason why Ragini wants to leave the house before she goes. Ragini says that Vidwan should ask Anurag and she leaves the house with Vikra, her father. The family looks at Anurag and Anurag asks everyone not to question him now. Vikra takes Ragini home and Ragini's mother tries to convince her to return back to her husband's house, but Ragini refused to listen to her mother. Vikra asks Ragini what happened and why she really leave her husband's house, and Ragini tells Vikra the whole story of Sangini and Anurag kissing and proposing to Sangini. Vikra laughs and said that Ragini really fooled Anurag well, and Ragini says that Anurag fell for Sangini in just a couple of meetings. Vikral says that but Ragini is also Sangini, and Ragini says that Vikral and Shriti are not understanding what is going on at all, and she knows that she was not Anurag's first choice because she was married to him forcefully, and now she can see that Anurag's choice is a modern scheming clothes-wearing girl whom he found in Sangini. Vikral says he thought that he can buy Anurag's mother's loyalty with money, but he was wrong and he realized Ragini's point now. Rohini gets a phone call and Vidwan asks her to pick it. Rohini speaks and says that her husband called and told her that he is unwell and he has returned from London, so he wants her to come back home. Vidwan asks if she did not inform her husband about Vishu, and Rohini nods that no. Vidwan then says that Rohini should return home and take care of her husband, and Rohini says that Ragini left already and now she is going, and she wonders what has really happened to this house. Rohini brings her bags and tells Revati that she knows that Revati never liked her, but she would forgive her thinking of everything that has happened. And Revati wanted to talk, but Rohini shut her mouth and hugs her and leaves. Anurag was in his room and he was helplessly shouting that how can Ragini leave him at this time. Shriti enters and explains to him that Ragini was deeply hurt when Anurag expressed his love to Sangini. Anurag says that he was drunk that day and he thought that Sangini was Ragini, and that was why he expressed his love to her. Shriti says that Ragini thought that she was not Anurag's choice for marriage, and that was why Ragini was hurt, and she thought that Anurag betrayed her. And to someone that asked me in the comment section if I'm continuing with this series, giving update about it, yes. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment, please share, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next update. Bye guys.